He is calling the Bears and the Jaguars with Kurt Warner coming up on Sunday. After doing the Jets and the Vikings this past Sunday, he is now live in London, where what time is it, Rich Eisen?
It's about dinner time, It's dinner time, pub crawl time for those of us who might be so inclined for a pint.
Will you and Kurt be crawling later?
Absolutely not. Kurt doesn't crawl. Hey, TJ, congratulations on the NLCS.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. I zoomed in early enough to hear your impassioned take on the event and how you wish that Jacob deGrom was there, since he obviously had so much to do with all of us. You left out somebody who also was not there. The most important Welsh since Bob. Haley was not there as well.
Wow. No.
So
cut his mic, Jason. Don't let
TJ. You left that one out.
I'm hot on this comment.
Wait, Rich, you missed yesterday, the end of yesterday's show. TJ said if the Mets win the World Series, he's getting a Grimace tattoo.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I didn't. It wasn't a bet with anyone, Rich.
I didn't make a bet.
It wasn't a prediction. It was
he
a spoiler.
Volunteered it.
Like Paul Heyman said, it's not a prediction. It was a spoiler. If something happens in the Earth and the Moon and the stars and the retrograde of Mercury somehow all align, that big purple goofy looking mug is going somewhere on my body, probably my leg.
Can we offer a second option here?
No,
hear me out.
No.
Fascinated with McDonald's characters.
I'm all for it.
If they don't win the World Series, would punishment be like the Hamburglar?
Yes.
No, I don't think there should be. There shouldn't be a no. There should not be a risk. There should be just a reward. This is a Mets team that seriously was flatlining on Memorial Day. Like nobody saw any of this coming. If anybody had said on Memorial Day that the first team in the LCS waiting for everybody else to join, that they'd be sitting back with a cigar, chilling out, and it would be the New York Metropolitans while everybody else still had to work in order to get to the LCS. No one would have believed you. No one would have believed you. And you got to give it up. You got to give it up. And I understand, who's not there. I just wanted to remind TJ of who wasn't there as well. There's the trumpets, and again, that's not a metaphor for anything whatsoever. I'm just saying that there's a whole, I guess, cadre of people who deserve the kudos and the salute. And you left one of them out, TJ. That's all I'm saying.
I did not leave anyone out who deserved it.
And now that whole cadre could wait for the Padres, potentially.
Hey, now, CJ, that's a wordsmith.
Who is it that you want? Like, we're actually, Rich, to your point, we're sitting here asking the Mets, like, hey, who do you want?
Mm-hmm. Who I want?
Please.
Yeah.
Man, here's what I would love. It's the bottom
you
of the
want the Dodgers, so you can go right there. You can just
it's
there.
The game-clinching moment where Diaz and Ohtani are going at it for baseball. I feel like that would be the greatest thing. If Ohtani hits a home run, so be it. Diaz strikes him out, so be it. That's what I want to see it come down to at the very end.
It's geographically sound for you, TJ.
It's geographically sound.
Getting out of your house. You get out of your
apartment. You never go when the Cowboys are here.
My team,
would you actually go? Because when the Cowboys are here, all you do is complain about the traffic.
I mean, here's the deal. Will I go?
Here's the deal.
2015, I had the option to either go to Mets Dodgers or save that money and hope we made it to the World Series. I decided to take the chance that we'd make the World Series, which we did. So I spent the money to go to the World Series.
Okay.
So
I'm
thinking,
listen, I'm rooting for you.
I got Andrew Siciliano money, man. I can't go to both.
I'm rooting for you, and it's just crazy because first pitch of these games starts at 1:15 in the morning. You're like, tonight, Thursday night football. But first pitch of Yankees Royals is 1:08 London time, and then 7 minutes later is kickoff of Seattle and San Francisco. And even if I decided just like, let's just stay up for a little bit of it, then it's crazy. And then you wake up in the morning and then you turn your phone on. You have no idea. You just learn just by looking at your phone. which, clearly I'm not used to doing that sort of thing. I'm used to just watching the whole thing. But that's part and parcel of being here in the UK when all these big sports are going down in the United States. So at any rate, I met with the Bears today, guys.
Yes.
If you don't mind me transitioning.
Right.
I met with the Bears.
How's Caleb?
And Caleb it was cool, man. He's kind of all business. There's nothing goofy about him. He showed up to this meeting and was just talking about how things are improving on the offensive side of the ball. DJ Moore came in beforehand and gave us the quote of the day. He said, everybody's Wi-Fi is finally connecting on offense, is what he said. And it did appear that after connecting with Rome Odunze earlier on in the season and certainly in the preseason, and DJ Moore having 3 touchdowns in his last 2 games, I did get the sense that 18 on your screen there is going to be looking for Keenan Allen and getting him involved coming up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that Caleb is feeling more comfortable. This just in. 2 300-yard games, including the passer rating north of 125, the highest passer rating of a Bears rookie quarterback of the Super Bowl era. He is feeling more confident. They are, I know. And they're also adding a little bit more to the offense each and every week. And so you got the sense that they come here and would love to, get one more win, stack some wins together, go from 1-2 to 4-2 into their bye week, after which they've got Jaden Daniels and the Commanders on the other side. But you definitely get the sense that the kid is 100% more confident in everything. I asked him what his daily routine is, because I was kind of curious to hear, what his scoop is. And he mentioned how he gets into work 6:30 in the morning. Gets in a lift, and then he goes to his various meetings, and he's there pretty much all day, and one of the last ones out. Goes home, studies some more film, and then to unwind, play some video games. I mentioned Apex, 2K, and Call of Duty. To which Kurt Warner turned to me and asked me if I knew what those were in front of everybody.
Wait, Kurt didn't know Call of Duty?
No, it's not that he didn't know. He was calling me out
for
not knowing, because the meeting began. Kurt always starts the meetings. I mean, when you got a Hall of Fame quarterback sitting in there, and of course the analyst is the one who wants to get a lot of thoughts about what he's going to be seeing on game day, so he can prepare for that. But a lot of this is also Kurt, who is one of the best tape dissectors in the business, sort of confirming what he thinks he's seeing on film with the person who's going through it. So his first question was to ask Caleb Williams to grade himself on the season. And Caleb was going back and forth, choosing his words carefully. And, Matt Eberflus did say later on that he's particularly hard on himself, and the coach is constantly reminding Caleb to be more gracious to himself. Caleb finally did give the grade of B-C+ to himself.
I respect
that.
To
which point,
I do too, yeah.
Yeah, I know. To which I then said, just say you could have said this grade was incomplete and just moved away from Kurt, which I think Kurt didn't like when I said that, which is why he clapped back at me about the video game stuff. But the video game stuff is, again, I just want to know, and this is why I told Caleb is why I was asking him, is just to see, how easy the game was coming to him, or at least it looked to all of us when he was in college winning the Heisman Trophy for USC and making all these eye-popping Mahomes-like plays, to see if he's, more immersed in football than ever before, that he's more 24/7 about football than ever before. And he said it's not appreciably more, that obviously the game is definitely more difficult for him to get up to speed, and how he told a story about being in training camp, and he got the the play call wrong and the protection wrong. And Cole Kmet in the middle of the huddle in front of everybody said, "You're getting it wrong. Like, maybe you want to do that again." And how he appreciated that, and how it's been a learning curve ever since, and how he's accepted that challenge, and things of that nature. But I just couldn't help but think that if we'd seen him in week 1, week 2, certainly after losing in Indianapolis, or in week 3 after that loss in Houston, when he and DJ Moore and the rest of the receivers began to meet either on the side in practice, or in the case of Odunze and Williams working together after practice, and DJ Moore being asked to work together more after practice, and him being a veteran and kind of wondering, staying late, sort of giving the side eye to that. But of course, he's there for his rookie quarterback, and how they're all, communicating to a little bit more since week 3. And they haven't lost since then. It was just an interesting glimpse into seeing this team and how they're building up with their, first year quarterback, as opposed to the Vikings, the home team from the NFC North last week, where they had just kind of taken off like a rocket ship with their new first year starter for them, but obviously a bit more veteran. And seeing how the Vikings are now 5-0, Bears are 3-2, and hoping to get to 4-2, and be right just one win behind the Vikings. It's interesting, just sort of. And one last thing to tell you about too. We did not meet in the same room. It's the same facility. Did not meet in the same room as we met with Robert Saleh last week. Mm-hmm. And I kind of got the sense the Bears knew which room we met with him in, and did not hold a meeting in there. Kind of got that little sense for a split moment there. That,
wow,
we weren't. Again, it's not a me thing. It's not an NFL Network thing. Okay, it's a Jet thing.
Did Eberflus's hair look good though?
Jet thing.
Actually, it didn't. It looked like he didn't have much product in it.
Oh,
really? Yeah.
Hat?
Yeah,
no hat? Not much. Hat? No hat?
No hat. No hat. Huh. And it was a little bit misty outside. But it was pretty cool. So we met with Caleb, him, and DJ Moore, and it was fun meeting with them. So nice. And we meet with the Jaguars Saturday. They were supposed to meet with us tomorrow, but their plans due to Hurricane Milton changed. And I kind of think the general sense I'm getting is the team got caught in between when did they want to go, and obviously avoid the hurricane. But I think the sense was, with the hurricane bearing down, taking everybody out of Duval County and just kissing their families goodbye and say, we're out. Just let us know how the hurricane, is hitting you. I think the team wanted to stay until the storm had passed, and deal with whatever schedule ramifications might be had there, as opposed to having the team leave their families, because they're playing another game after that against the Patriots in week 7. So for them to leave their family behind for 10 days as a potential Category 5 was hitting the coast of Tampa and then going who knows where in the state of Florida, I think the team wanted to wait it out. That's the general sense I'm getting right there.
Yeah, and that makes all the sense in the world as well. Obviously, the brunt of it on the West Coast, the story this morning that Raymond James had some damage, but it was mostly cosmetic damage. We've all seen the images of Tropicana Field right there with basically the roof blown off, and sports stadium's only one small little concern. The human toll, obviously, far greater than that, but hopefully the Jaguars get there and get to London safely and soon. Yes. They're scheduled to arrive a little bit later on Friday. That press conference for Friday morning has been postponed. Got to get your thoughts, Rich, on Todd Downing, former Raider, former Titan offensive coordinator, now whispering in Aaron Rodgers' ear until the clock hits 15 every play on Monday night.
That's a good way to put it. Oh man, I honestly.
Oh man.
I've been thinking about it obviously quite a bit. When my mind gets to football, which is quite a bit, that I can't believe Aaron Rodgers' arrival in New York and all the hoopla and optimism that came with it, had year one flushed down the toilet due to a snapped Achilles just 5 snaps into his first start. And then year two, 5 games into his first full year as starter there, Robert Saleh gets fired as the first head coach to be fired midseason in the Woody Johnson era, which, as we all know, began with Bill Belichick scrolling on a cocktail napkin. He didn't want to be the HC of the NYJ. And then we all know what's happened between that moment and this one. And now if Saleh was thinking of making this move to Todd Downing, and this was apparently the reason why he was let go, is because Rodgers refused to allow a code red being pulled on Nathaniel Hackett, and now the new guy comes in and Jeff Ulbrich and makes this move. Who knows what to believe anymore, other than the fact that the way it was going didn't feel as if it was heading towards any immediate, let alone long-term success, and better to switch it up. That's just the only way to put it, because the run game looked brutal, absolutely brutal. And Todd Downing, I know that's not Derrick Henry walking through that door, but for him to come in and maybe bring whatever schemes were working for the Titans and let that work for Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, they have to somehow, some way, take the pressure off of an offense that is leaning on the 40-year-old shoulder of Aaron Rodgers, who's throwing it 50 times a game and has now gone 3 years without a 300-yard passing game. That is not the way to win football games. Doesn't matter if you have a championship defense, as we clearly saw. So better switch it up than keep it going. And if Jeff Ulbrich has that sort of swing and juice, go for it. He must have seen something from his position on the defensive side of the football to have made this move. And nothing surprises me with the Jets anymore. How does that sound?
We had Baldy on last hour, and he said the same thing about running the football. Look, you got to run the football, and they're not trying to run the football. I just can't wait, however, for the first question, regardless of whether they win or lose on Monday night, the first question post-game, and that is, hey, Aaron, you threw the ball 45 times. How many times did Todd Downing call a run and you checked it and you changed it and you decided to throw?
Listen, the bottom line is what this guy does under center and in shotgun for the Jets, as I mentioned after their last win against New England, is an adult at the position who can decipher the defenses,
which is what you need,
who can figure out which place to get in, which is exactly what you want. So if he's running the offense and it's just a different person that's giving him a menu of options, then go for it. Maybe that's helpful. But all that said, guys, is there was a third and I mentioned this the other day when I zoomed in. 3rd and 4th down, short yardage, first half. The Jets ran it 2 times. Rodgers didn't check out of the plays. He kept them the way they were, unless he checked into them. I don't know. But he did seem irked. And Kurt was even wondering on the air during the broadcast, you take the ball out of the hands of Aaron Rodgers in 3rd and 4th down, back-to-back downs. Like, certainly when you can't run it, they got to run it. Todd Downing's first order of business is to un-F the run game, with Breece Hall being as talented as he is, and this 20-year-old kid being as big and as talented as he looks. That's the way through here. So Rodgers throws it 25, maybe 30 times. Who cares if he doesn't throw it for 300 yards, as long as he puts it in the end zone 3 times? The way the Jets are playing defense, the Jets give you an offense with 3 touchdowns on it, you're going to win more than you lose. And, and despite all of the seeming dysfunction, which is what happens when you fire a coach 5 games in. And if you were going to fire a coach 5 games in because you didn't have enough confidence in him at 2 and 3, then why'd you have him come back at all? this year with all the guys that are available to you in the offseason. Despite all the feeling of dysfunction, the Jets win on Monday night. They're in first place.
They're in first.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
And so that's all that would matter moving forward for the rest of the 11 games with Jeff Ulbrich.
Maybe he can unfrazzle the run game.
I don't know if you guys noticed in the middle of that last segment, I made a sacrifice.
Oh, yeah?
For the program.
What'd you do?
I don't know if you noticed.
I did.
There was
a race?
Did you see how I looked off to the side?
Yep.
Felly?
I saw
see that. You hear the knocks on the door?
Was it turn down service? Or?
Service.
I turned down.
For what?
Turned down service.
Wow.
For what?
Does anyone ever
to continue the segment?
Does anyone
Turn down for what?
Turn down service? Like, why do you need someone to come in and turn the bed?
Who has ever taken turn down service?
I don't even get what that is.
Everybody. Why would you turn down service? Listen in the middle of a segment on the Rich Eisen Show.
You've opened the door and said, please enter my room.
Yeah, come in.
Please come on. Move the sheets a little bit and leave me a minute.
Fresh towels. Fresh towels. No. Yes, absolutely.
Fresh towels I'll take. Don't touch my bed.
Let me tell you something.
I'm standing
the most
down? That's a turn up.
Whatever. Touch the bed. Listen, first of all.
Look at this.
What's the matter with you? Secondly, the most important portion of turn down service is the folks who administrate such a thing know how to somehow manipulate the rods that close the curtains to overlap the curtains so there's no sunlight that comes in. I can't do that.
Do you just
honestly
stand there?
They never close.
Do all these
they
things
never
in your
close.
room? You just stand to the side.
This is going on. You watching?
I have a travel hack for that if you need it.
What is that?
So you take the hangers that have the clips on the bottom and you put them together and you clip them. And then there's no
like
no
the ones for your
in.
pants.
With a hanger with the clips?
Yeah,
the clips?
Yeah, the clips.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you know you ain't hanging up in the hotel?
Who needs turn down service?
That's what I'm saying.
Turn down for what?
Everybody, every human. Get out of here. Little chocolates too, if
I'll
they come
take the
with.
mint too.
I'll take the chocolate.
Give me the chocolate.
Hold on. Stand by. And we're back on the Rich Eisen Show.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Rich is in London. We just had an amazing TV-only conversation about turn-down service. I don't get it. Like, I'm in my room. Leave me alone. I'm watching TV. You want to leave a towel? I like the fresh towels. Like, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm good. That's just me.
Thanks,
now, if I'm gone and when I return to my room, I find that they left extra towels and the mint, and I'm appreciative. But I just don't need people coming in and out of my room while I'm there.
But they're coming into the room no matter what. So who cares if you're standing there?
There's the awkwardness. Then there's got to be the interaction. Well, I stand over there while you do, and then I feel awkward. Like, do I need to tip you? Do I not? Like, it's just the whole thing feels weird to me. Like, I'm
well,
good.
Yes, you do need to tip them, Andrew.
I don't want to do that. Like, I don't. There is nothing tip worthy of you like moving the sheets and leaving them in.
Andrew,
I don't get it.
I haven't. Brockman knows this. Rich doesn't. Andrew, we were in Kansas City week 1. We go to the Chiefs game. We're all hungry. We get back to the hotel. Everything's closed, right? There's nothing to eat. So, there's a little snack section next to the front desk. I go and I get a Twix bar. I remember laying in bed and taking a bite, and the next thing I know, I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I came back and I looked at the bed, and apparently I fell asleep on the Twix bar and it melted, and the entire sheets were covered in chocolate, but it looked like not chocolate. So I had to make that's why I was a little late getting a set that day. I was scrubbing the sheets. I left them a note. I apologized. Like, this is not what you think it is. And I left them a tip. So.
Okay. I have some follow-ups. First of all, I understand why you never informed me of this. That's number one.
It's ridiculous.
Number 2, did you really feel like you gave the impression that you went number 2 in your bed and you needed to actually explain yourself to the staff?
No, like if you just walked into this room and you saw, and like I said, Twix comes in the bar was completely stripped of any chocolate. It was all rubbed around in the bed, and I was my gosh.
Did you have the first ever Twix bar? Not made of caramel, but like
It was chocolate. It was
some NyQuil. Like, what the hell is in that? Like, you started eating it and passed out, eating a Twix.
It was
like what the hell?
We didn't get home from the game till like 12:30, 12:45. We had a long day.
So let me grab a Twix and pass out while eating it in the midst. Mid Twix.
It wasn't my goal to pass out. I was hungry. Jeez. There was a Twix. I tried to eat it and I fell asleep.
How? Chris, I feel like you have something to say, but you're trying to stay out of it right now. What's happening?
I was going to make a joke. Was it Twix Plus, TJ?
Twix Plus, yes.
I don't know that there's anything I could say that is fit for radio or television.
All I know is it's kind of fitting. I have my power rankings of the 10 best reasons to accept turn down services.
Let's go.
Oh, no, wait a minute. It's my regular power rankings. Oh, okay. After week 5, entering week 6. Hit it.
This is Power
Rankings.
Power Rankings.
All right, all the way from London, international version of Power Rankings. Now, the first few weeks, there's been a lot of flux, a lot of changes, right? Because it's early on, and suddenly a 3-1 team loses, might fall off, or an 0-2 team wins a couple. Now they're suddenly on. But this one was tough to fill out the first 4. 7 through 10 is really up to in the eye of the beholder right now. The top half, it's kind of a top-heavy, no-brainer listing, I think. But the other ones are really hanky, iffy, and they might not be on your list, but they're on mine. And number 10, to start off my power rankings list, TJ, I'm putting your Cowboys back on. I'm putting your Cowboys back on it. That was a stone, dude. That was a Stones win. That fourth quarter, it looked like it was brutal. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly, here comes Rico Dowdle and Jalen Tolbert, everybody, introduced himself to the United States of America. Dak had one of his best quarters. I know that was one of the subjects you had, Chris, in Overreaction Monday pod. Get that wherever you get your podcasts. Yep. That it was Dak's greatest win as a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. Yeah. I pushed back on that. But I'm putting them a number 10 on the list to go to Pittsburgh and do what they did against that defense in the fourth quarter, back against the wall. They're now 3-2. They're 10 on the list. Number 9, down 2 spots. I'm still keeping the Buffalo Bills in my power rankings. They are 3-2, and they have some questions surrounding them, I would say, no doubt. But I still believe they are in the top third of this league. They still have one of the best quarterbacks in this league, and they're just down 2 spots. But they're still in my power rankings at 9. They should have won on Thursday Night Football. They did not win on Thursday Night Football, but they're staying like before. The Bucs stay in my power rankings. I still believe in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that they are in the top third of this league. No change. They lost last week. They should have won. They would have been maybe a little bit higher, certainly because number 7, back on the list after I took him off. I'm putting the Falcons here. I'm putting the Falcons here at 7. Nice. I'm just, Kirko coming in there, throwing for 5 bills. And, defensively, they might be susceptible. Offensively, they might be susceptible. They've got one of the best place kickers in the game. I'm putting them at 7. They lead a division. They're 3-2, and I'm putting them back on the list. They're number 7. Now, number 6 on the list, no change. Baltimore Ravens are still sitting there at 6. Might be too low for a lot of you folks, since the guy on the screen is getting a lot of chatter for yet another MVP season that is forming. Derrick Henry is performing better than any running back through 5 weeks. Certainly in terms of rushing yards over the last 3 weeks, he's been as dominant as he has ever been. I'm putting the Ravens 6th on this list. They were kind of lucky to get through in Cincinnati last week, so that's why I got them at 6. The Washington Commanders are still the top 5 team. Ooh. They are dominant. And I can't wait to see them and the Ravens play each other this week. Week 6 is my team's 5 at number 6 on my power rankings. And I'll tell you right now, folks, as much as I'm loving the Ravens, and I'm a Harbaugh guy and a Derrick Henry guy, and I love the Ravens, I'm spending a lot of my sleepless, jet-lagged moments staring at the ceiling, trying to convince myself to take the Commanders in this game to go 5-1.
Do it.
I know you want me to do it because you want me to be wrong.
Do it.
But they're top 5. They're still 5 on this list because number 5 on that screen is unbelievable. Number 4 on the list, down 1 spot because, they had the temerity of being off this week. I'm taking the Detroit Lions at 4. I'm putting the Texans up from 4 to 3. They are number 3 on my list right now because the Texans, despite losing Nico Collins for the next 4 weeks, I still think that they are the second best team in the AFC. The Vikings, I saw them in person. I couldn't be more impressed by their coaching staff, by the way Sam Darnold is playing, and they won a game when he didn't even play very well, or at least have all of the accoutrement from Aaron Jones to all of the touchdowns that he throws. Number 1, the Chiefs proved it. Only a matter of time. 330 yards plus for number 15. Kelsey did it. All of a sudden, Kareem Hunt's in the end zone and Juju Smith-Schuster's turned back the clock. And the defense still is what it is, and they're going to get healthier with a week 6 bye. The Chiefs are number 1 in my power rankings. And so the Steelers and the Seahawks off, the Cowboys and Falcons back on. That's my power rankings.
Fantastic. Happy for Juju as well, by the way. Like Juju, fountain of youth, Juju on Monday night. Same goes for Kareem Hunt as well. Travis Kelce mustache, not so much.
There you go. There's my power rankings for everybody to take it in right there.
There we go. Beautiful power rankings. Rich and
Thanks
Kurt
for
Warner.
doing the show, Andrew. Thanks for doing
pleasure.
the show while I'm here in London.
Happy to do it. Always happy for the opportunity and grateful as well. Have a great call, my friend, on Sunday. And we're still on the Roku here as well.
Might have had the Broncos at 10. You know what I mean?
The Broncos? No, come on.
They're a playoff team. Really? What do you mean? They're a playoff team.
They're a playoff defense.
They're a playoff team. They're literally in the playoffs if it started today.
But the playoffs don't actually start today.
But they would.
I was sitting there, and they do not, right? Because I would definitely, it would be weird for me to be in London.
You should hurry home if they do, yeah. No, they don't.
I thought about it, Chris. No, I really did think about it. I just couldn't bring myself to it. I just still think the Cowboys
they beat the Bucs when they played each other.
Understand? Yeah. Real quick, I saw the Commanders in person last week. Jaden Daniels is the real deal. Right. And what is different here is this is not a Cliff Kingsbury, hey, let's go 5 wide and throw on first down and just chuck it down the field and nope, don't protect the quarterback. They're going 12. They're going 13 personnel. Coming into the game, 75% of their first down calls were runs or screens. So they're protecting their quarterback. Smart. And he had that throw in the first quarter where he broke contain and then hit Terry McLaurin. Now, he eventually threw a pick in the red zone on that drive. But, that is a wow throw. Wow. Yep. They're real, man. They're real.
Thanks for doing the show while I'm here in London, sir.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.